Hello there, it's me again. That's right, it's time. It's time once again. Here we are, you and I. We're going to talk about Sex and the City again. That's right, that awesome show from the late 90s and to the early 2000s. Okay, the show was good back then, all right? Sex and the City time. Okay, I'm Diego. I've watched every single episode of Sex and the City. Okay, and I also watched that piece of shit show and Just Like Crap. I already reviewed it. If you want to watch this on this channel, I reviewed both movies and all the episodes. All right, so I was a big fan of the show. I was probably the only straight guy I knew at the time. I've been watching the show since it first came out. Okay, I had HBO back in the day, you know, and so watching these episodes again is like going back in time, kind of reliving my youth. I was in my 20s back then. I was out there, you know, living in a big city in Chicago. I was dating women, hanging out with my friends. I was going to parties, nightclubs, you know, taverns, bars, comedy clubs, hotels. You know, we did all that shit. All right, so so I knew that experience, okay? The idea of living in a big city, you know, working in a big city, hanging out with your friends in a big city, and just all the partying and all the sex. Hell yeah, okay? But no one's gonna make a show about my experiences because that would be sexist and chauvinistic. If you still want to see a guy out there boning all these women, yeah, you can't have that on TV. No, that sends the wrong message, okay? But you can have women doing it. That's okay. That's progressive. Okay, that's progressive. That's some good stuff there. Okay, the chains of the patriarchy are finally broken, and women are allowed to expose themselves without shame or judgment. Yeah, that kind of bullshit. Anyway, so what I do here is I give you a straight man's point of view. Okay, is I tell you the show is written by gay guys, lesbians, and feminists. Okay, so the straight guys that are on the show, you know, because we are talking about heterosexual sex here on the show. These women were fucking men. Okay, for the most part they were. All right, so I didn't like the way the men were being represented. Okay, because I think it's because nobody involved in the creative process of the show understood what a straight man really was. They had an idea of it, you know, but I don't think they did any real research. I don't think any straight men were consulted or asked dating advice when they were writing this show. Okay, so I think that's why the men ended up being the butt of all the jokes. Okay, the women were all portrayed as great and wonderful, but the men were all portrayed as one-dimensional, easily disposable, and well, you know, pathetic. Okay, and that's the only problem I have with the show. Now, sometimes they get it right, and when they get it right, I'm going to mention that here, okay? Because, like I said, I love the show, and every once in a while they get it right. And they get it right sometimes in this episode here, okay? So I'm going to dive right into it, okay? First of all, if you're easily offended, get the fuck out, all right? I do not censor myself. I'm going to tell the honest to God truth, a straight man's point of view. I'm going to tell you the stuff that your dad, your boyfriend, your husband ain't going to tell you. So if you're watching this with your significant other, don't, okay? Guys, watch this by yourself. Don't watch this with your girlfriend there, okay? Because she's going to start looking at you and asking you questions, okay? It's questions that you're not prepared to answer right now. Okay, watch this shit on your own, okay? And ladies, don't watch this with him, okay? He's just going to get embarrassed, all right? So, I'm going to spill all the beans, okay? I'm going to pop that bubble. So here we go. The episode we're going to talk about today is Sex and the City, Season 4, Episode 10. Okay, Season 4, Episode 10. The title of this episode is called Bells of the Balls. Okay, so it makes me women and testicles. That's the topic. All right, so first of all, we hear that old song from the 80s. Everybody have fun tonight. The girls, it's Samantha, Miranda, and Carrie, and Aiden and Steve are all at a bar, and they're playing pool, and Samantha's winning. And of course, she's gloating about it, okay? You know, she's winning. Everybody have fun tonight's playing, you know. They're playing pool. And Samantha says something like really innocent. She's like, "Oh, only one more ball left. Only one ball to go." And that pisses off Steve because he just had testicular cancer. So he had one of his nuts removed. Okay, so right now, Steve only has one testicle. Okay, so he took offense to that and he walks away. Miranda caught it and goes like, "Samantha, damn it, why'd you have to say that? Don't you realize he only got one testicle now?" And well, she wasn't thinking about that. She just said, "Hey, one ball left," you know. But I can understand him being upset, you know. And Miranda, you know, so she berates Samantha, and Aiden says like, "Well, it probably, you know, offended him because it makes him feel like less of a man, you know, if he's only got one testicle, you know." And says the number of balls is nothing, you know. And Miranda says like, "You know what, girls, we don't even notice your balls down there, okay? The number of balls does not fucking matter. You could have one, you could have four. We don't give a shit, okay? Is that true, ladies? This is what I think, all right? This is what I think. I think that ladies, if you've seen enough cock, you've seen enough balls, okay? Many different sizes, I'm sure, okay? But if you happen to be looking, you know, innocently, you know, looking, and you only noticed one, I think you might like remember that, okay? You might not bring it up, you know, but you might remember that, you know? Remember that guy and all of a sudden remember his face and associate his face with, you know, having one nut, you know? And I think if you saw three of them, you'd really remember that, okay? So yeah, I think there's some truth to it. Now, I don't know because I have two nuts. Okay, but I don't think it really bothers you as far as like having sex. You can still have sex with one nut. I think. I don't know, but I think you can. Anyway, so that's going on here. Carrie's, and of course Samantha starts bragging about this time she fucked a guy that had some really huge fucking big as fuck basketballs underneath this thing. Okay, I'm talking about fucking ain't nobody around, can even pick up one of those nuts. Okay, and she had to use both hands to pick him up. He was sweaty and fucking hairy and heavy as shit, And anyway, so Carrie gets grossed out and tells her, hey, Samantha, no more of that. And Aiden is like, oh, no, I want to hear the rest of the story. Like, what happened? Samantha's like, no, we don't need to hear about nuts. The only nuts I care about are yours, sweetheart. I just love yours. Yours are the best nuts I've ever seen, okay? I swear to God, I'll never let Big fuck me again. I'll never do that again. I'll never cheat on you again. Over and over again. With Big's huge fucking cock. Okay, she didn't say that. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. Anyway, yeah. She cheated on him. They made up. Supposedly, they made up now. But she's still twisting the knife. I don't think she's doing it on purpose. Well, she is doing it on purpose. Okay, I take that back. She doesn't realize that she's still hanging out with the guy that she cheated on her boyfriend with. Okay, it's all sorts of wrong things going on here. That's not the topic of this. All right, so that's going on here. You know what, guys? Okay, she tells Aiden can't believe that Samantha talks this way, all vulgar, like a guy, and Carrie's like, well, welcome to my world, Aiden. Welcome to my world, Aiden. I put up with this every day. I listen to this every day from her. Okay, hey, listen, guys, the guys who are out there, okay, listen to this. Okay, I say this over and over again. I'm gonna say it again. Okay, don't fucking listen to what your fucking girlfriend tells you. That shit, like the shit that Carrie just did in the scene here. How she's talking about how much she loves Aiden's nuts. His testicles are the most beautiful thing she's ever seen. That kind of bullshit. Okay, we know you're bullshitting. Okay, we know girls are bullshitting this. All right, she's saying that to make you feel at ease. Okay, she's saying that for your benefit. Okay, because she doesn't want you to think that she ever had big fucking hairy balls in her mouth while she was dating you. Okay, she doesn't want you to think about that, so she's gonna compliment yours. Okay, but it's just another form of manipulation. Okay, if you really want to understand what women are really like, all you guys out there, do you really want to know? Maybe you spend a lot of money trying to be a pickup artist or some bullshit, or you watch a lot of chick flicks and think, oh, now I know the secret, or all that kind of shit, right? Okay, if you really want to know, okay, what a woman is like, what the girl you like is like, or your girlfriend is like, okay, look at her friends. Look at her friends. What are her friends like? Okay, that'll tell you everything you need to know. Guess what? If her friends are a certain way, guess what she is? Exactly. I know. It fucking hurts, doesn't it? Okay? Some of you just had your fucking mind exploded, right? Okay? But it's the fucking truth. Okay? Look at her friends. What are the shit her friends do? Okay? Guess what? That's what she does too. Okay? And you ladies know I'm right. Okay. So, this is what I told you. Don't watch this with your significant other. Okay. So Miranda's like, I'm not into balls. How about you, Carrie? And she compliments fucking Aiden's fucking nutsack. Okay, so that's going on here. Carrie's like, you know what? Nuts are like purses, okay? You're naked without it. You have to go everywhere with it. That kind of bullshit analogy, whatever. Okay, so a man approaches Samantha. Samantha recognizes his face, but she doesn't recognize his name or what he does or when they saw each other last time. So she's like, oh, hi, how are you doing? He's like, hey, you remember me? Oh, yeah, your name is, it's Alan. Oh, hey, Alan, yeah, so what are you doing in town? What are you doing here? He's like, oh, yeah, I'm an architect, and I just designed a building for a hotel company, whatever, and, I just, you don't remember my name? No, it's Alan, we fucked. Yeah, he says that out loud. He says that out loud in front of the other people there, in front of Miranda and Carrie and Aiden. And Carrie. Yes, Samantha, you don't remember me? We fucked! Well, that's a fucking short list, isn't it? So he tells, yeah, it's Alan, okay? And my name's Alan, okay? I'm designing this fucking bullshit anyway for this hotel company. And Samantha's like, well, who does their PR? He's like, oh, this fucking so-and-so does their PR. He's like, oh, they're no good. Hey, you get me an appointment with that guy, okay? I want to talk to him, set it up. So I guess he decides to do it because, he's not going to fuck her again. She doesn't want to fuck him again. She doesn't even remember his fucking name, but he's still talking to her. And now he's going to fucking potentially set her up with a multi-million-dollar contract. You really think that's going to happen in real life? Well, on this show it does. But in real life, no. I think you got to do a little bit more than that, okay? But anyway, so that's where that plot line is leading. Meanwhile, Trey and Charlotte, they're not there, okay? They're back at their house, and they're having Chinese food, whatever. And she talks about how, it's been 3 months, been trying to get pregnant. They haven't gotten pregnant yet. She wants Trey to get tested, get his sperm tested. He takes offense. They go, why all of a sudden is it my fault that we can't get pregnant, huh? Why are you blaming me for it? Because he's acting like a fucking kid. He's a fucking kid, okay? He's sleepwalking when he's awake. He's a fucking kid. He doesn't fucking know shit, dude. This is the kind of guy that fucking hangs out in his room. Like, he's supposed to be a fucking doctor, but he's totally fucking idiot. And how do you know I'm the problem? So he gets offense. He takes offense to it, and he can't eat his dinner now. And Charlotte's like, oh, it's okay, Trey. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with your sperm. I'm pretty sure there's nothing wrong with it. Your sperm is fantastic. He's like, can I eat my wontons, okay, without sperm being involved? Huh? Like, he easily takes offense to that and walks away. Like, get the fuck out of here, okay? Your wife's trying to have a conversation about fucking, getting pregnant, okay? But why is he acting like a fucking kid? He's acting like he didn't know this conversation was going to happen. Maybe it shouldn't happen over dinner. Okay, but this conversation is going to happen. Okay, if he's going to act this way whenever she brings it up, that's some bullshit right there. Okay, bullshit. All right, I call it raise the bullshit flag. Most guys would not act that way. He might say, let's talk about it after we're done eating, but he wouldn't just take offense. I'm not going to eat now. You disgust me, and walk away. That's some bullshit writing there. Okay, once again, gay guys wrote this episode. All right. Meanwhile, Aiden and Carrie are brushing their teeth in the apartment. In her apartment, okay, and they're both wearing their tighty whities. Yes, they're both wearing their suspiciously clean tighty whities while they're brushing their teeth together. Okay, I guess it's romantic. I don't fucking know. Anyway, they're talking about balls, and she says, like, I want to grab your balls. He's like, oh, they're right here. Come on. Right underneath my beer belly. Come grab my balls. And she's right about to do it, okay? And I can only imagine fucking Matthew Broderick, like, sitting there right behind the cinematographer going like, you better not touch those balls. You better not touch those balls or I'm filing for divorce. Talking to the camera, How to get your wife not to touch your balls. Number 1, don't fucking let her do it! Okay, I'm kidding. All right. Anyway, so that's going on here. She's about to grab his nuts, and the phone rings. Saved by the bell. All right, so Aiden answers the phone. Aiden answers the phone in her apartment, okay? She has to guess what? It's big. He's like, can I talk to Carrie? He's like, Carrie. And he ain't happy, okay? I wouldn't be happy either, okay? If this would never happen. This would never happen to me, okay? If I took my ex-girlfriend back after she fucked around on me, okay, first of all, that would never happen. But let's just say I did, okay? And she's still hanging out with that guy. She's still, having dinner with him. He's still calling her. They're still talking on the phone, okay? Are you out of your fucking mind? What kind of guy would ever allow this to fucking happen, okay? First of all, I would never do it. I would never get back with her. Number 1, and if I did get back with her, it'd be to fuck her over, okay? It wouldn't be to fucking build a meaningful relationship. You can't build a meaningful relationship with a fucking lying, fucking cheating bitch, okay? Number 2, if he's fucking still calling her, why the fuck would I stay with her? Okay, why would I fucking allow? Do I look like fucking Will Smith to you? Do I look like Johnny Depp? You think I'm gonna let this shit happen and not do anything about it? Just to roll over? Okay, go ahead, fuck me in the ass. Okay, and just watch it, okay? That's fucking awesome. You're gonna fuck my girlfriend anytime you want, because my feelings don't fucking matter, right? She tells me she loves me, that's all I fucking need. Meanwhile, you can take your big fucking cock and pump her to fucking death and fuck her in half, and I won't give a shit. It's okay. Are you out of your fucking mind? No, that would never happen, okay? And he's not happy about it, but he ain't gonna do shit about it, okay? Because he's got no fucking balls. So anyway, he gives a phone to her. She talks to him. Apparently, now Big is crying, basically. He got dumped. That movie star he was dating, Willow Summers. Yeah, what a name, huh? Yeah, she dumped him, okay? He was crazy about her. He talked about her to Carrie last episode, how they met over smoking, and her weakness is green eyes and smoking. And he fucked her. She had red panties on, all that kind of shit, right? And he's crazy about her. Well, he can't get a hold of her. Okay, now I don't think they've broken up yet, but he's trying to get a hold of her and he can't. So he's freaking out, his imagination's running in worst case scenarios, So that's going on here. Like I said, Aiden's pissed, okay. Big's like, she's in town and we're supposed to go out. I think she stood me up, Carrie. I can't get a hold of her. I've tried all 5 of her phone numbers and I can't get a hold of her. You know? That's the problem, Carrie. See, she can reach me, but I can't reach her. That's what he says on the phone. She can reach me, but I can't reach her. How fucked up is that, Carrie? Now we're seeing Big, okay, showing some beta male behavior, okay? He's showing weakness. He's projecting lack of self-esteem, okay? Like I said, weakness, insecurity, big time. He's basically crying. This is the kind of shit that the girls do every episode, but now we're seeing a guy do it. Okay, a guy that we know very well. Now we know that Big isn't always this way. He's usually pretty confident. He's usually pretty charming. He usually got his shit together. Right now he has an emotional collapse. Okay, we've seen him act this way before, but not very often. He usually doesn't act this way. So if he's acting this way, it's kind of a big deal, okay? I think the problem with Big is he's very emotionally insecure. He's so used to things going his own way. Like I said before, his sexual market value is above Carrie, okay? He can get more girls than Carrie can get guys, okay? She's got to look up to get to him. He's got to look down to get to with her, okay? But now he's dating a movie star, okay? He's dating like the fucking, I guess the Sandra Bullock, okay, or the Julia Roberts of that era, okay? And of course, she's a higher sexual market value than he is. He's not used to that. He's used to fucking, dating models that are trying to make it in Hollywood that'll suck his dick, okay? He's not used to dating a movie star on that level, okay, that goes out there fucking billionaires and other movie stars. Okay, I mean, when you think about it, what is an average multimillionaire in New York have on stage? She's out there fucking producers, directors, casting agents, CEOs of major fucking corporations. That's who she's fucking. Okay, you should feel happy that she allowed you in that club for however little amount of time you were in it, okay? Okay, but you think Julia Roberts is gonna fucking date a fucking fry cook at McDonald's? Do you think she would date a fucking architect? Okay, do you think Julia Roberts back then would date a stock trader on the board of trade? Fucking no. She's gonna date another fucking movie star. She's gonna fucking date a casting director. She's gonna fucking date a producer. She's gonna date the guy that fucking invented the internet. That's what she's gonna date, okay? At least during her peak years. Now, once she gets old and ugly, not anymore, okay? But by then, she would have already taken all that guy's money. So it doesn't fucking matter. The point is that if he's dating a movie star, he's not gonna hold on to her, okay? Come on, man. Come on. You gotta think realistically, Big. Okay, this woman is above you, and he's not used to that. You see what I mean? He's not used to that. He can't handle it. He can't handle a woman playing him. See what I mean? And he's insecure about that stuff, okay? So that's why he's crying. That's why he's like, no, I can't get a hold of her. She can reach me, but I can't reach her. So that's going on here. I don't like seeing Big act this insecure. Okay, I think he loves Carrie. I think I understand now why Big loves Carrie. Okay, I think it's because Carrie is the only woman that he knows well enough that will tolerate him when he's this way. Okay, I think Carrie is so in love with Big that even when he acts weak like that, she'll put up with him. She still sees him as a high value. And most women would not see him as a high value. I swear to fucking God, if Big had acted this way if he did act this way in front of Willow Summers, she would have dumped him on the spot. On the fucking spot. Okay? But since he is above Carrie, in attractiveness, I think Carrie still sees him as a winner despite the fact that he's showing beta male behavior right now. Okay? So that's what I think it is. I think that he understands that Carrie will take him at his worst. Okay, when he's not confident, when he's not sure of himself, okay, when he's having self-doubts, she will still put up with him and she will still take him back. Okay, I think he understands that that's what makes Carrie different from all the other women in his life. He can't show weakness around them. He can't show weakness around Natasha, for example. Okay, he couldn't even fucking convince her not to color the apartment beige. Okay, she had to win that conversation. All right, and you're gonna notice that a lot of guys are actually like this. A lot of guys that you think are strong, no, they're not. They're actually driven by their wives, by their girlfriends. Actually tell them what to do. Okay, it's all fucking bullshit. Okay, look at Johnny Depp. Okay, look at Will Smith. Okay, look at Justin Timberlake. Okay, all these guys are being driven by their women. Their women are the ones telling them what to do. Okay, and then they go out there and they simp, and these women still treat them like shit. Okay, so there's no fucking point in doing it. So guys, don't fucking do it. All right, it's okay to have a crisis of faith. It's okay to break down every once in a while. We're human beings. We're going to. Okay, just try not to do it in front of women. Women don't like to see a guy cry. They want you to be there when they're crying. They don't want to be there when you're crying. All right, so keep that shit to a minimum. Talk to your guy friends about it. Okay, talk to your mom about it. Okay, that's what your mom is there for. That's the woman you need to cry in front of. Okay, don't cry in front of your girlfriend. Okay. Keep that shit. You got to grab hold of that shit, all right? Okay, that's what separates us from them. We're not as emotional. We're not built to be that emotional. Unfortunately, right now, there is a crisis of way too many fucking emotional men out there right now that are putting their emotions above everything else. You can't fucking do that. Your emotions have a place in your life, and they are important, okay? But they're not fucking everything. They're not fucking everything. Your feelings aren't fucking everything. There's other things out there just as important, if not more important, than your fucking feelings. Okay? Right now, Big's having a crisis, but I know he's going to come back because I know this isn't the way he normally is. Now, a character like, say, Skipper, remember him from season 1 and 2? That fucker's just a basket case full of fucking emotions. Ah, why would she call me back? What are you doing? You know, okay, don't be like that. Okay? Big's not always like this right now. He's having a crisis, okay? That's okay. That's normal, okay? But don't be like fucking Skipper. All right. So that's going on here. You know, like I say, she's like, you know, she dissed me after I took her to the MTV Music Awards. And Carrie's like, you know what? When am I going to start feeling sorry for you? Okay? she's like, I started following her around. She wouldn't return my calls. Like a goddamn dog. You know, he's fucking, yeah. He's way in the self-pity, okay? Then he plays a clip from the voicemail that she left him. She's like, I can't wait to see you. I'm in a New York state of mind. You know, okay. And fucking Carrie's like, okay, good night. I'll talk to you later. Boom. Anyway, and she goes to the bathroom. Aiden's been in the bathroom clipping his toenails, you know, and now she's like, okay. So Carrie's like, you know, Aiden's like, why'd you take the phone in the other room? Why'd you take the phone in the closet? Why don't you just talk to him here in the bathroom with me? She's like, well, you know, I know you don't like him calling here, you know, and, you know. He's like, hey, you know, you told me that there's nothing going on with him anymore. There's nothing going on with you and him anymore. Okay, so that means that there's nothing going on. So why should I get suspicious? You know? He's like, you don't have to, you know, you don't have to run to the closet when he calls. You know? And she's like, well, I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable, Aiden. He's like, you don't want to make me feel uncomfortable, or you don't want to feel uncomfortable? She's like, okay, well, I guess I don't want to feel uncomfortable, Aiden. You know, and he's like, you know, me or you, okay, he's like, I don't want you to feel threatened by him. He's like, you think I feel threatened by him? He's like, you think I feel threatened by him? He's like, you know, yeah, I can take him. She's like, what do you mean? He said, I can take him, okay? It's just like that Batman episode, okay? Where Batman, when Batman fought the Green Hornet. Now we're talking my language here. He's like, everyone expected Batman to win. He had the cape, he had the gadgets. You know, everyone thought Batman would win. But the Green Hornet had the moves. He also had Bruce Lee as Kato. But the Green Hornet had the moves. And that's what I got. I got the moves. And I've got my dog Pete. Hey, Pete, come over here. You won't let Batman get me, will you? No, of course not. You know, he starts playing with the dog in his fucking tighty whities. Yeah, I didn't really need to see that. I could have lived without that, you know? Anyway, so he goes to play with Pete. Okay, first of all, let's get some things straight here, okay? Yes. Okay, the Green Hornet predates Batman, okay? Green Hornet was in the 30s. Batman didn't come out until, well, the late 1939, okay? Green Hornet was like 1931, okay? Batman was a comic book. Green Hornet was a radio show, okay? Green Hornet is the great-great-grandnephew of the Lone Ranger, okay? Lone Ranger was John Reed. Green Hornet was Britt Reed, okay? He was the publisher and owner of the Daily Sentinel in Chicago, okay? He was doing that, running the newspaper during the day. He fought crime as night as a vigilante. He had a Japanese valet named Kato, who they later retconned him to Filipino because World War II started. You couldn't have Japanese superheroes on the radio, so they retconned him to Filipino. blah, blah, blah. Then there was a TV show in the 60s, the Adam West TV show. There was two team-up episodes, A Piece of the Action and Batman Satisfaction. It was in season 2. Van Williams played the Green Hornet. Bruce Lee played Kato. I already said that. Okay, it was Adam West and Burt Ward were Batman and Robin. They fought the villain Colonel Gum. It was a two-parter. At the end of part 2, the Green Hornet, who everyone thinks is a criminal, but he's actually a superhero. Okay, it goes into Gotham City. He fights Batman and Robin. They fight to a draw. Okay, now a lot of people don't realize that Burt Ward is actually a triple black belt in karate. Okay, when he got the role for Robin on the Batman TV show. Okay, meanwhile Bruce Lee created Jute fucking Kendo. Okay, Kung Fu style that he invented. Okay, so he's probably one of the greatest martial artists that ever fucking lived. And they do have a fight. Robin and Bruce Lee have a fight, and that had been a real fight. I'm sorry, I know Burt Ward can break wooden boards with his hands, but Bruce Lee would have wiped the fucking floor with them. He would have wiped the floor with all of them. Anyway, the fight that Batman and the Green Hornet had ended up in a draw. It was in a draw, and the Bruce Lee and Kato left to go back and do their own TV show, which got canceled after one season. All right. There we go. Now you know. Now you know what Aiden's talking about. All right. It was Batman and Green Hornet. And we'll come back to that later in part 2 of this review. All right. Here we go. So Carrie's like, I don't know. She's talking to the girls. You know, Charlotte basically says, like, what the fuck do superheroes have to do with this? You know? And Carrie's like, well, I don't know. It's a guy thing. Yes, it is. All I know is he had to compare himself to Green Lantern to duel in order to deal with Big. Okay, and Miranda's like, no, he didn't say Green Lantern. Okay, Green Lantern is Hal Jordan from Coast City, works for Ferris Aircraft, who got picked by the Guardians of the Universe to get a power ring from El Señor, and with that power ring that he has to recharge, that's useless against the color yellow, he has to recharge every 24 hours with his Green Lantern that's connected to the star battery in Oa, okay, that powers all 3,600 Green Lanterns from all 3,600 sectors of space, in which case Hal Jordan is the Green Lantern of Space Sector 2814. He fights all the other villains in outer space, while living in Coast City, California. His worst enemy is Sinestro, who has a yellow power ring. He used to be the great Green Lantern. But later on, Hal Jordan becomes evil. He becomes Parallax, okay? And he fucking kills all the other Green Lanterns and the Guardians except for one, who they give it to Kyle Rayner, who gets another ring that's not impervious to yellow, and blah, blah. And, okay. Well, yeah. Yeah, wrong superhero. Okay, so Miranda, thank you for correcting. That was not Green Lantern. That was Green Hornet. All right. Moving right along. Thanks, Miranda. Okay, Carrie's like, I don't give a shit who it was. Well, fuck you too then. Shit, damn it. I went through all that for nothing. Okay. She's like, I just wish there was a way for Aiden to not worry about Big anymore. Maybe I should get all three of us together, and talk. And then Aiden can see that I love him. Keeping my relationship with Big in the closet is only going to make things worse. Samantha's like, no, men don't talk. They fight. It's all that testosterone. You know, Charlotte's like, you know, Trey got upset when I brought up the subject of his sperm. Like, that has anything to do with this conversation. All right, but that's what Charlotte says. All right, meanwhile, thesis of this episode is, are men just women with balls? Are men just women? No, there's a couple of more differences than just that. There's just a couple of more differences, maybe one or two at most. But yeah, just some subtle changes, okay? Subtle differences, not very many, between a men and women, okay? Steve and Miranda, they're walking together, okay? And he notices the fucking testicles of this dog in front of him. Yeah, I know. And he tells Miranda, hey, I'm thinking about, getting a fake nut and getting it implanted in my empty scrotum. So that way I can look like I have two testicles, when in fact one of them will be fake. What do you think? I already signed up for the procedure. I want you to come with me. She's like, you want me to go testicle shopping? He's like, yeah, why not? He's like, oh, first of all, girls don't care about that stuff. They don't care about your fucking testicles. Quit being so insecure about this, Steve. Nobody cares if you got 1 or 4. We're not going to notice. We don't give a shit about that stuff, okay? All we give a shit about are your arms, your eyes, and whether or not you have a big cock. We're not superficial. That's all we care about. Hey, at least you're honest. Hey, at least you're honest. Honesty. Okay, Samantha meets this guy named Richard Wright, who's played by the actor James Remar. You probably remember him from The Warriors from 1979. That's when I first saw him. Warriors, come out to play. And then, yeah, he was also in that piece of shit Mortal Kombat sequel. Not the new one, the old one, you know. He's been in a lot of shit. He was in another 48 Hours. He's done so many fucking movies. You recognize his face once you see him. He's got that deep voice, you know. He's been in a lot. Last time I checked, he was on Black Lightning. I know it just got canceled on the CW, but he played like the only white guy on that show. He was the only white cast member on that show. Anyway, James Remar, you've seen his face. He was in Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. Yeah, the one, the gargoyle, that was Radon Chung. Yeah, that was him. Okay, so he's there. He plays this guy named Richard Wright. Get it? Richard Wright. Dick Wright. Get it? Yeah, very subtle. I know, I didn't catch it either. So he plays Richard Wright. And Samantha's interviewing with him. She wants the PR job. I guess he runs this big hotel, this big fancy hotel, and she wants the job as the PR agent. Okay, and he tells her your resume is pretty good, okay, but it's all full of fluff. All it is parties and social events. She's like, well, what else do you do in your hotels, huh? Nuclear fission? He's like, oh, she got an attitude. He's like, okay, you know what? He stands up and he's like, you know, you're very intriguing, okay? And that's the only reason that, you know, you're not downstairs in the lobby drinking a cappuccino 10 minutes ago, okay? But it's a very big job, and I deal with a lot of businessmen, you know, and, you know, I think, you know, what I can see happening here is maybe teaming up with the other PR firm and working together. Like I said, it's a big job. And she's like, well, I don't work together, okay? It is a big job, and that's the reason I'm still up here and not downstairs drinking cappuccino. You know, he's like, okay, I'm gonna be frank with you, Miss Jones. I deal with a lot of business men. Oh, now she gets it. Oh, sexism on Sex and the City. Ooh, that's like the main villain on the show. Oh, the recurring villain is sexism, the patriarchy. Okay, so that's going on here, you know, and Sam's like, it's a big job. That's why I'm not downstairs having a cappuccino. And she's like, I don't need a partner. He's like, yes, well, read between the lines, Miss Jones. I deal with a lot of men. They don't want to deal with emotional people, okay? She's like, so she gets pissed off. The sexism is just oozing out of him, right? So, of course, she complains to her girlfriends about it. She's like, that just means he won't hire me because I'm a woman. Miranda's like, exactly. Now you're speaking my language. It's the same at my firm. They're afraid I'll cry over some briefs or something. Carrie's like, have you ever cried over some briefs, Miranda? Well, yeah, but, you know, not when anyone was looking. Okay. Charlotte says, like, I cried when I worked at the gallery. I only cried once, and ever since then, everyone was afraid to let me do anything. They were afraid I was going to cry again. I only cried one time. One time in 10 years, I only cried one time. Samantha, she says, I never cry at work. Carrie's like, I fake cried once when I was on vacation. I pretended I was sick. How come when guys get angry, they're called pistols? But when women get angry, they're called emotional. Yeah, I don't know. It probably has something to do with, like, you know, whenever guys are treating people like shit, they're called assholes. But whenever women are treating people like shit, they're called feminists. You know? Yeah, it probably has something to do with that. You know? Samantha's like, is he afraid I'm going to get my period and ruin his business? He might be. I don't know. Okay, Miranda says, like, yes, men are... Okay, some men are... I don't know what happened to Miranda, man. She's got a change of heart all of a sudden. Like, what the fuck? You know? So, some men are threatened by strong women. Okay, see, I changed it. I said some. They're threatened by strong women, so they have to turn them back into women again, so that's why they call them emotional. Yeah, I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that. You know, there are a lot of weak guys out there that cannot handle strong women. I have seen them. We've all seen them. You all know them, okay? You all know them. You all seen them. You know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a lot of them. Probably a lot more now than there was in the past. I don't know for sure. But I do know, like, in the past, they didn't really show these guys too much. They didn't really get the spotlight, you know? But now they're everywhere. Okay, they're everywhere. Okay, guys, they're easily offended emotionally, that will cry at the drop of a hat. You know, and it's sad. It's sad that our culture has turned so many men into this. You know, it's just terrible. Okay, so Samantha's like, well, I'm going to go back there and impress that arrogant motherfucker so much that he will beg me to take the job. Carrie, meanwhile, is reading her magazine, her InStyle magazine, and Willow Summers is on the cover, so of course she's reading up on her. You know, she's at the log cabin, at Aiden's log cabin there. She reading the magazine, big calls. I guess he got the number from her voicemail, that's why he called. He's like, where are you? He's like, oh, I'm out in New Jersey. Oh, no, I'm up in upstate New York. I'm in a log cabin with my boyfriend. Okay, well, he wants to talk to her. He's emotionally upset again. He's like, she broke it off, Carrie. She never wants to see me again. I don't even know what I did wrong. Well, I know what you did wrong. Okay, you were only dating her, Big. Come on, you know better. So come on, it's a rookie mistake. Yes, she's a movie star, but you don't put all your eggs in one basket. You're not married to this woman. I don't give a fuck if I was dating Julia Roberts and Sandra Bullock. You know what? I'd be dating Jennifer Lawrence too. Okay, I would. You know why? Because you never know when one of them's just gonna fucking not want to see you anymore. Then what do you got left? You threw everything into one girl. You put everything into one girl. Jesus fucking Christ, Big, you know better than this, okay? And you did it with a girl whose sexual market value is higher than yours, okay? This is your fucking mistake, okay? This is the shit that you did wrong. That's what you did. What you should have done, you should have dated Will Summer, got some pictures taken with her in public, and then flirted with other celebrity women. She's not my girlfriend. We're just dating every once in a while. By the way, I loved your movie. How does it feel having an Academy Award, Mrs. Bullock? You like Green Eyes too? You know, that kind of shit. That's what you fucking do. Okay? Then you go up to the next girl. Oh, you know, I loved you in Bram Stoker's Dracula. And Heather's. Yeah, I actually saw Heather's back when you were younger. Yeah. You look even more beautiful now. Hey, my wallet's still here? Okay, just making sure. By the way, you're so lovely. You know, that's what I would have done. You know, just go to the parties. Use her to go to the fucking parties and meet the other girls. That's what you do, man. Jesus Christ, you went to the fucking MTV Music Awards, okay? You're gonna tell me you didn't meet anyone else there? You could have fucking met Beyonce there, for Christ's sake. You could be hooking up with that too. What the fuck? One-itis is the number one killer of men. One-itis. All right. So that's what he's suffering from, one-itis, all right? So he wants to, you know, so she says, you never want to see me again. I don't even know what I did wrong. She won't return my calls. She can reach me, but I can't reach her. I was such a chump. I really put myself out there. She drop kicked me right in the heart. Carrie, what am I going to do? What am I going to do, Carrie? Yeah, kind of like what you did to Natasha, huh? All right. Carrie's like, well, she looks crazy. I'm not coming back till Monday. Monday? That's too long. Yeah, well, you know, it's like 40 minutes to get here, you know, blah, blah. Why don't you come over here? He's like, okay, where are you at? And she gives him the address. And then she goes up to fucking her boyfriend, Aiden, who's lumberjacking his ass, you know, and tells him that Big, the guy that she's been cheating on him the whole time they were together the first time, is coming over to his place. All right, I'm going to end this review right here. This is part 1, and I'll be right back on the next one in part 2. Thank you for watching.